Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Average Woman Podcast. I am that lady, Miss Nicole, coming at you today with another topic that is near and dear to my spirit. Alright, y'all, so actually today I'm not at the house, not at the studio, I'm at the hospital. My husband has his third bone marrow biopsy today. So I figured it's a great time to come and talk to you ladies and just try to give y'all some encouragement. Also, just to help me clear my mind about what's going on. And I thank you so much in advance, you guys, for tuning in. Thank you so much for subscribing to my YouTube channel, the Average Woman channel on YouTube, and just supporting. I appreciate the emails. I try to read them all. I read damn near all of them. And I respond promptly. So today, we're talking about today about bad moves. And we mentioned this here, previously, because it's so important that as you grow from young lady to woman, that you make changes in your behavior so that you can achieve the goals and have the kind of life that you set out for. Like when you young, if you was not taught right, and most of us was not taught to be a wife, but when you are young, you've already been watching things on TV, tell lies to your vision. You've already been listening to your mom, and a lot of time our elders, they'll tell us and say things to us that make us think that the things that we do is okay. Because a lot of times we get fooled because, like, mama didn't want to do wrong. Mama didn't want to do wrong. Grandmama didn't want to do wrong. Everybody wanted to do what they wanted to do. So they justified their actions by doing what they wanted to do. And then they'll turn around and see you doing something that they know is going to have you miserable and messed up later in life, but they can't say nothing to you because they know that you see them do the same thing. So they won't say anything to you. They'll just watch you march full speed ahead off the cliff and fail in life. And that's a lot. I see that happen a lot. As once we start having children, we got a baby daddy, we trying to get it in the road. We trying to have our business in order. But like your mom and them will sit there and watch, and it's not just mom and them, because some of us do have mothers that will try to talk to us and will try to tell us the right thing. But the problem is like we really don't want to listen. We don't want to hear. We don't want to hearken to what our parents are saying, because like I said, once you done seen somebody else do wrong, you just feel like, well, you can't tell me nothing because I see you do something. But listen, if somebody is trying to correct their wrong by telling you what's right, you need to listen to them, because they've already been through all the stuff that you've been through. And it's just time that you accept that and fix your stuff. Stop making excuses like you got all this time in the world. Like you got so many do-overs. You don't have do-overs when it comes to your kids. And every mistake that you make, it does not just affect you, especially once you start having kids, it affects your kids too. And if you love your children as much as you say you do, you have an obligation to make sure that you're not taking losses and going through all kind of foolishness with them on the ride with you for your life. They're in the car taking losses, riding over all these lumps and bumps and humps just like you are. So it's definitely detrimental to the upbringing of your kids for you to do better, for you to accept that you need to do better, for you to step your game up and accept your wrongs and your faults and fix them. You know what I'm saying? You don't do your kids any justice when you just ignore the truth and continue to try to rationalize and I'm gonna just figure it out on my own. No, it's past time for you to figure it out on your own. You figure that out when you're by yourself. But once you have kids, you're not on your own no more. You got responsibilities. These kids depend on you. And I know I'm always talking about somebody with kids and everything because, the kids are our future. The children are our future. And in the long run, you're going to need these same kids that you neglecting and mistreating right now you're going to need them in the future. And unfortunately, your kid's not going to be available to you. I'm not saying that, but it's a possibility. Because a lot of times when we mistreat our kids as while they're young, and they grow up and they see how jacked up your life has been, and how you've not rose to the occasion or tried to elevate your level of thinking, and they don't want to really have nothing to do with you. And that's something that we all have to deal with, when we don't treat our children fairly. And we'll be right back after these messages. Hey, thanks for listening to my podcast. If you ever wanted to have your very own podcast, I can tell you how to set it up right now. Anchor is an awesome app that's free to download. You can use its creation tools to edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast so that you can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more other platforms. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenerships. And also, it has everything that you need in one place. All you need to do is go download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. I look forward to hearing your new podcast any day now. Thanks. And now back to the show. Hey everybody, and welcome back. And the topic of this show is come on mama, come on mama, and step your game up. You know what I'm saying? We have been lied to a lot, and as you get older, you are going to realize that a lot of stuff that you was told was just a damn lie. A lot of stuff you was told, it was a lie. It was to hinder you. And I'm not gonna say it was intentional, because I think that mom and them felt like if they don't have to really tell you the truth, that eventually if they just look out for you and have your back, like everything will turn out fine. But that's not how it goes. That's not how things go. A lot of times when mama will see you going down the wrong path, or grandmama will see you going down the wrong path, or your friends will see you going down the wrong path, and people trying to tell you not doing right, you gotta listen. You gotta stop thinking that once you have a baby, you know every damn thing. You don't know nothing. You don't know not a damn thing. You don't know nothing. You don't even have a plan. And if you do have a plan, your plan is probably unrealistic because you didn't think the plan all the way through. And I hate that it's like this. I personally, I didn't have kids. Because my mama made it clear, if you get pregnant, don't come back here. Okay, so I didn't jump out there in my teenage years having kids, because I had already knew that I wasn't going to have any support. And I'm so in love with the idea of having children that I want to give my kids my best. I don't want my kids to have to grow up with me and learn mistakes as I grow. I want them to get the best of me, so that when they are growing up, I'm able to love them and give them my best so that they can be their best. But you can't give your child your best if you are selfish as the hell and you only thinking about what you want and how you want it and what you wanna and when you wanna. It's all about you. Yeah, you wanna go out. Yeah, you wanna have a life. But guess what? That's over. Your whole first, last, third, second priority is the kids. Mother, you are a mother 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You don't get no break. You don't get no break. And you made it that way. Anytime you don't have a relationship with your kid's father and you start making babies, you automatically become a 24-hour parent. So you don't have time to be out here in these streets running behind no man. You don't have time to be out here chasing no friends. You don't have time to be going to the clubs or none of that. Because your priority is your kids. We leave our kids, we don't care who watching our kids. We'll leave them with anybody. And then, but Lord have mercy, if the father say he want his children, the daddy can't come get them. Or his mama can't come get them. But your friends or your gay friends, they can watch and be all around your kids and everything. Y'all got life messed up. You got life messed up. And that's why our children suffer. Because we can't put our feelings aside and do what's right by our children. Damn your feelings, damn what you want, what is best for them. And we need to really start asking ourselves that. What can I do that is going to benefit my children, not what I want? Y'all get these income tax checks every year. Blow the check. Don't buy the kids no shoes. There's no reason why your kids should not have the things that they need when you're able to get money. You're not going to tell me that it's all about bills. The bills ain't all that. It's your personal wants and needs. Because you still trying to relive your life that you missed out when you was in high school. That's gone now. That's over with. And that's why they say that women need to mature faster than men. Women are supposed to mature faster than men because we are the caregivers of the children. And we have a responsibility to not only keep the kids on the side, but we have to keep our husband satisfied as well. And that's a big responsibility that requires all of your energy and your focus. Because you really don't know how to do anything else other than that. You got to be focused on being a good wife. You got to be focused on being a good mother. And you can't allow anything to stop you from doing that. Period. Your kids need you. And there's nothing more important to them. And I'm always going to reiterate that because even me, when I was growing up, my parents didn't give me all their love and everything that I needed. I had to find everything out the hard way. And some things, I have a discernment, so some things I'm just not even going to do because I know it's messed up. But y'all been told otherwise. And now, we suffering. And ladies, you got to do better because, you're going to get old. And your kids are going to be all that you got. Your mama going to be gone. Your kids is going to be all that's there. And guess what? If you don't prepare them now, if you don't prepare them for life now, you are going to end up supporting them through their whole life. If you don't lose one to the streets or jail, you got to change your ways, mama. You got to step your game up, and you got to become a woman. You've got to become a woman, and you've got to learn to do better, do right by them, and do right by yourself. Oh, God ain't gonna bless you. And we'll be right back after these messages. All right, and we are back. And today I'm telling you, come on, mama. You got to step your game up, mama. You got somebody calling you mama right now, mama. You got to step your game up. You have got to become that woman that your kids need you to be. A woman don't make excuses. A woman do what she need to do to get the job done. Because if she don't get the job done, ain't nobody else gonna do it for her. A woman don't make excuses. A woman understand what's going on out here in these streets. And also, a lot of y'all don't understand how to move in the streets. So y'all take losses. You lose your license, you lose your car, you lose your job, you lose your wallet, you lose your debit card, you lose your keys, y'all lose your hair, you lose your mind. You take all these losses in the streets because you want to do what you want to do. Just because you want to do what you want to do, you want to say what you want to say, you want to go where you want to go. And you don't even realize that all that is to your downfall. All that is to your downfall. Because you're not meant to be everywhere. You're not meant to be in these streets. You have a child or children that need you, that you're supposed to be setting an example for. You're trying to be somebody's wife, but yet and still you taking vacations, going to Cancun by yourself, not worrying about who gonna take care of the kids, or they gonna be with their daddy. Never mind the fact that their daddy got some girl who, around your kids that's crazy, and she crazy and he crazy and everything else. But I know you can't control what's going on around, your father, your kid's daddy house. Ain't nothing you can do about that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just part of the process. Ain't nothing you can do about that. All you can do is make sure that you do your part and give your kids truth. Give them understanding. Give them knowledge. Talk to them like I'm talking to you. I don't want you going to school doing this. When them teachers talking to you, you listen. If you have to pop up on their ass in school, then you pop up on their ass in school. But you need to express they need an education. And if you didn't get your education and you made these mistakes, so what? Just because you fucked up, that don't mean that you allow them to do that. Well, I didn't do that. I wasn't good at school and math either. So what? Just because you wasn't good at math, that don't mean that your kid's not supposed to be. Your kids should not walk down the same path that you walk. I told you my whole life, you just big boned. You big boned. I know y'all don't know what big boned it is. That just means you just big, And my daddy is a big man. My daddy was, a big man. And but that don't mean that I have to take on and have all this fat on my body just because my daddy a big man. That's just crazy. You understand? So we not gonna do that. What we gonna do is we gonna be honest. We gonna tell the truth and we gonna be real about it. And that's how we get over. That's how we start something new. We gonna make plans for our kids. We gonna give our kids crayons and coloring books and encourage them to learn and not video games, sticking them in front of the TV. We gonna talk to them. We gonna communicate with our children. But we're not gonna put all our emotional feelings on our kids. We're not gonna be telling our kids all our business. We're not gonna do that, because then that's too much. That's putting stress on the kids. Your kids, you gonna have to pay your bills whether your kids there or not. Because you grown and you want to live in America and it's bills living here. So whether your kids got $1 to go toward the light bill or whatever the case might be, that's your responsibility. That's your responsibility. Don't put that burden on them kids like they got to figure it out. Nah, they ain't got to figure out nothing. You got to stop being such a tyrant. And if you would humble yourself and know that you not all that. Know that just because you done had children, you not grown. I say just because you had children, I'm country. Just because you have had children or you made babies, you are not grown. You don't know really none of the stuff that it really takes to survive in this world. You need wisdom, and your wisdom has to be built on truth. And if you're not willing to build your wisdom on truth, you're gonna be a dummy for life or a derelict. And a derelict is just as bad, because you can't tell a derelict nothing, because a derelict know everything too. And I hate to see my women, my sisters, take losses and be looking bad out here in these streets. You done been fighting, that girl and ripped your hair out. You don't know how to make your hair grow back. It's one thing to try to make your edges grow back, but what happens, how do you make that shit go back when it done been ripped out the scalp? Well, you done ripped it out the scalp. How do we do that? You know what I'm saying? And we don't think about stuff like that. We don't think about that. We don't think about being compassionate toward one another. We don't think about our kids are watching us. Our kids hear the shit that we saying. You can't expect your children to have all this respect for you if you putting on a show and doing doing the most in their face, because they're not gonna do it. You got to hold yourself at a certain level of respect in order to get respect and keep respect from your children. Please know that. And I'm terribly sorry if you think that it's going to be anything else. But your kid's not going to have no respect for you if you can't You can't give them a reason to respect you by correcting your actions and minding your manners and your behavior. You know, you got to be real with yourself and be willing to accept the fact that you are jacked up and you need to make changes. And unfortunately, your kids got to go through that whole process with you. So you need to make adjustments quick. You need to get your mind right quick. You need to get your house in order quick, because the older your kids get, the more respect they're going to lose from you. The more respect they are going to lose for you, because they see that you are a fool. And then what end up happening is you raise your kids to be fools, and then you leave your kids for society to raise and correct. And that's why the jails are overfilled now. You know, unfortunately. And we'll be right back after these messages. Hey everybody, and welcome back. And today I just want to thank you guys for tuning in. Y'all giving me some therapy. Like I said, my husband is getting his third bone marrow biopsy to check his cancer levels and to see, you know, how his blood is doing. So just thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you guys listening. Not trying to be rude or hurt your feelings, but we got to make changes, especially mothers. I mean, one of the hardest things in the world these days is to be a mother and understand what it takes to be a mother. You know, you have to give up yourself. You got to put yourself to the side, because the world is coming at your child, trying to tell your child how to make babies, telling your child what they're supposed to do. I heard a guy say that the reason why kids need to be in school is because the parents don't teach them anything. And I was like, wow, who would say that? But when I think about it, you know, he wrote a book, and you know, he done been led down a life of drugs and crime and problems, but that's his story. He didn't learn nothing from home. Who do you think, before your kids shouldn't have to learn their ABCs in kindergarten. Your kids should be taught their ABCs, how to use the bathroom, how to sit still, how to behave, how to everything before they get to school. And the education process continues, because you continuously talk to your kids. You continuously let your kids know what a Karen is. You continuously let your kids know, look, if it's something going on, here it is, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. You have to let your kids know what time it is, so that they got the tools that they need to make decisions. You let your kids go out here and think that everybody their friend and don't tell them the truth, you're going to lose them. You have to tell your kids the truth, and you still making the same mistakes, so you really haven't learned. You taking all kind of losses out in the street, but why should your kids have to go through that? Because you don't want to be honest and tell the truth. You don't want to be honest and say, you know, your daddy was right. I'm not ready to really deal with y'all. I'm going to see if your daddy ready to deal with y'all, or if he's in a better position. Or before I even decide to have babies, I'm going to make sure that I got somebody in this house to help me, because I'm career driven. I'd rather have a career than be a mother. So let me make sure that I secure this man before I have this baby. We don't even think like that. Not only do we have one baby, but as soon as the 6 weeks or however many weeks you have to wait before you have another baby, you done had sex and done had another baby. Like, you can't get pregnant. Your body is fresh open. And if you will get pregnant immediately if you don't have some type of birth control in check before you have sex after your first child. And that's another reason why we get overwhelmed, because here it is, you don't even give the first child to get out of Pampers before you go have another one. And some of y'all do it again and have another one. And it's ridiculous, you know, because you're not prepared. I wouldn't care how many kids you have. You can have as many as you want if you can deal with them. But a lot of y'all, you can't deal with them. You can't get them out of high school. You can't get them out of kindergarten. They don't know how to read. They don't feel confident in themselves. Who the hell do you think is supposed to give your kids confidence? Who do you think that they supposed to get swagger from? They can't learn this in the street. That's your job. You have to finish fixing that, molding that concrete until it becomes solid. Their concrete don't harden until they become a teenager. And if you planted anything good in them, it will begin to blossom once they begin to learn their position and their role and what they're supposed to be doing. They'll take the reins. Okay, Mom, I'm good. I know every morning I get up, wash my face, brush my teeth. I get my school clothes out before I go to school in the morning. When I come home from school, I do my homework. But if you don't lay them out no plan like that and give them some structure, they're going to do whatever the hell they want to do. You got to give your kids structure. You got to tell your kids the truth. You got to love them. You got to praise them and boost them up. And you also have to keep them grounded with reality. You understand? And that's your responsibility. You are Mother Earth. You are the nurturer of the children. And our kids, man, these young mothers, 18 to 20, you young mothers who didn't finish high school, who just instantly went to rushing and having babies. You have got to sit your ass down and come up and think before you start making moves. You got to think. You got to think. If you moving now, if you in your 30s now and you ain't thinking, you need to be thinking. What can I do? If I do this, then this is going to happen. Weigh your options. Be real with yourself. If you don't have a plan, talk to somebody. Allow someone to assist you. Allow somebody who you can respect to tell you right from wrong. Because a lot of times, can't nobody tell y'all nothing because you don't want to hear nothing. And when somebody trying to talk to you, you turn your ears off. But who or how are you supposed to gain knowledge if you don't want to listen and you don't have the answers? You've got to be able to listen to somebody. You don't want to listen to your baby daddy. You don't want to listen to your baby daddy mama. You don't want to listen to your mama. You don't want to listen to your cousin, sister. I hope that you listen to Miss Nicole, because I don't know you. I don't know you personally, but I know damn the apple don't never fall far from the tree. And there's a lot of you young ladies running around here driving straight derelicts, crashing in the cars, fighting, just doing the worst. And you got 3-4 children at home, 1, 2, 3. Any damn kids at home should make you not want to do the shit that you're doing. I mean, let's be clear, you know. And I'm saying this because I got love for y'all, because you got to make a change. And you always going off on these women. Yes, I'm always going off on the women because I have nothing to say to the men, because let somebody else talk to them. I'm talking to you ladies, you young women who are supposed to be, you ladies who are supposed to be moving like women but still moving like ladies and girls. If we had more women moving as women, it would be more families. Because women know and respect order. They want a family. The only way that you can have a family with a man at the house is respect the order. Appreciate your husband. Respect the way that he wants you to raise his kids, because he has a plan for his kids. He may have a plan for his kids, but you won't abide by that because it's not how you was raised. And we'll be right back. Hey everybody, sorry about that. They just wheeled my husband back in from his bone marrow biopsy. He's still sleeping a little bit, so I'm gonna give him a few more moments to get his mind right and let him rest up. But like I say, us as young women me as a grown woman, I am obligated to speak to you younger ladies trying to develop into your womanhood. And I just ask that you use knowledge and you move with wisdom and stop being led by your feelings and what you think is right, and do what is right, you know? And things will get better. Ask questions. Don't move on your feelings and just do what you want to do. Ask questions and think things through. Don't just move and without any type of response or any kind of thoughts behind it. And I'm going to let you go. But with that, I say shalom. And make sure you tune in next week next time at the Average Woman Podcast. And I'll see you next time. Shalom.